Welcome to the Relax into Love podcast, the place for spiritual, ambitious women to awaken to divine connection within themselves and their partner and manifest their most desired relationship with joy and ease. I'm Teal, your host, a spiritual love and relationship coach trained in the principles of feminine energy, NLP, and deep subconscious reprogramming. And through this podcast, it is my desire to inspire you on all things dating, relationships, and self-love. Now, on to the show. Welcome back, babe, to the Relax into Love podcast. I'm your host, Teal Elizabeth, and I am trying something new today. Instead of doing my usual 20 to 30 minute kind of long, deep, philosophical, spiritual talks, I really want to kind of just break up and do a little mini series, kind of mix it up a little bit. And I want to talk about, in this mini series, it's going to be a little 3-part process talking about the attachment styles, the 3 different types of attachment styles that we can be in relationships. And I think this is a really, really great topic because it just brings a lot of awareness for yourself to recognize, like, am I in a healthy relationship attachment style or am I in an unhealthy relationship attachment style, right? And for all of you that are currently dating or are already in relationships, there's always good times to be reevaluating and making sure that you're stepping into this relationship or your next relationship with your best foot forward. And it's never too late to shift and adjust and continue to grow and change. That's what this is all about, right? So first off, I want to just kind of like articulate what the 3 are. And then over the next 3 days, I'm going to be really kind of doing a little deep dive into each of these attachment styles. So I'll be very curious to hear from you, which one really hits home for you the most? Which one do you find yourself really kind of, getting wrapped up in? So the 3 attachment styles, you're probably familiar with these from, the psychologists that have done this work. But the first one is the anxious attachment style. The second one is the avoidant attachment style. And the third one is the secure attachment style. So I'm going to take some time and do a very short little kind of mini episode today on the anxious attachment style and how we notice it show up and how we can really start to bring awareness to shifting out of those patterns. So let's begin. This is something that's just such a common thing, I think, for a lot of women when we first start getting into relationships with a man that we like, right? Because there's this interesting dynamic. It's like we come off as these very powerful women, and we show up in the world. We're like, I don't need a man. I've got this. I can take care of myself, right? Like, no need to really look to anyone for validation. Like, I've got this. But then something happens and something switches. And as soon as we get an inkling that a guy likes us that we actually like, we start to get attached, right? Maybe we go out on a few dates and we say, oh crap, you know what? Like, that exterior of this feeling of I'm fine, I'm independent kind of starts to fade as we start to really connect into our heart and go, oh my God, like, I think I'm getting vulnerable here. I think I actually really like this guy. And this happens all the time. Like, I can call it like clockwork. And I have to say, I used to be that way too. It was like, it would be a certain amount of dates, and then all of a sudden I would realize, oh crap, I think I like this guy. And it would be like, zoom, laser focused. And I would just start like obsessing, even though in my head and like my external, I was like, I'm fine. This is all cool. I don't need him, right? Internally, I'm like, oh my God, it's been 5 days. Why hasn't he talked to me? Why hasn't he texted me? Like, I just had this great date with him, right? This is so common. And this really is an anxious attachment style that comes forward where our anxiety really tries to take over control. And basically what the anxiety is saying is, okay, I don't feel safe here. I feel like my heart is open because I'm in this place where I've put down some of my walls. Like, I'm actually admitting to myself that I think I like this guy. And when your walls come down, you feel exposed. And so your ego mind comes in and says, holy crap, I don't feel safe anymore. I need to think about this and overanalyze this and make sure that I can feel safe because I feel really exposed. And that's when this anxiety starts kicking in. And that's when you start worrying and stressing out about, oh crap, like, it's been this long and I haven't heard from him, or I don't know what he's thinking, or did I say the right thing, or all these things, right? I want you to really recognize that this is really just you
in your ego mind feeling like you are unsafe. And so what it does is it tries to find that security in the validation of his actions. And so when you are seeking validation from somebody else and in their actions, then you're actually really just basically giving away your control and giving it to somebody else to be able to have that control over you. And that feels really scary and unsafe. Hence why the anxiety comes up even higher and it becomes this negative downward spiral. So if you're going through anything like this, I just want to really reassure you. And I want you to just remind yourself that this is just my anxiety. This is just my ego trying to find a sense of control in something else outside of myself. And it's really an opportunity for you to come back home within yourself and find that security and groundedness within yourself. What I really want to offer to you is, can you feel grounded while still feeling exposed? You know, it's easy to feel grounded when your heart's closed and you're like, I don't need anyone, I'm fine. But can you actually feel that groundedness while your heart is still being exposed, while you feel attached to somebody or feeling the inklings of wanting to be attached to somebody? Because they can sense it. They can sense the difference if you're coming from a place of anxiety but trying to act cool versus truly feeling 100% fine in yourself regardless of how they act. They could talk to you every day and you'd be happy, and they could talk to you not for a week and you'd be happy, right? You may ask them, hey, like, where you been for the last week? Missed hearing from you, but not from a place of, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Why haven't you talked to me? Did we mess this up? Are we still on the same page, right? There's a very different distinction in energy there when we come from that place of anxiety versus coming from that place of true grounded just acceptance within myself. And so this anxiety is just one of these things that as you move forward and stepping into new realms of your relationship, it's such a beautiful opportunity for self-growth. So honor it. Don't push it down. Don't hide from it. And definitely try not to act on it. Just notice it for what it is and really just like breathe through it. Breathe through it and choose to not let it have that power over you. Because that's really the truth of being able to step out of it into something new and shifting those old patterns.
Thanks for tuning in to another amazing episode of the Relaxing to Love podcast. If you are loving what you're hearing, please, I would love for you to write me a heartfelt review and share this with a friend. Share this with someone who you know could really use this message today. And let's keep spreading the love. Until next time.